meeting. I'll call the meeting to order at 2 o'clock. Commissions Committee meeting. Roll call. We have Charlie Manning, Carmen Gasparo, myself, Linda Johnson, and Travis Walsh is also with us today. Looking at the minutes from our last meeting, assuming everyone had the opportunity.
Public comment. Sorry.
Oh, public comment. I don't have an agenda. Any public comment or anyone from the public on? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to our agenda with the first item being the approval of the meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
December.
I second that.
Make a motion to approve. Carmen's a second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed. All right, motion passes. And then we are here today to discuss the 4 Mile Road project's possible survey. And Travis, can you remind us again what platform the survey is using?
It was Google survey.
Google survey, thank you. Did everyone have an opportunity to look at the survey?
Why do we think we need one?
Well, it's a good thing to engage people when there's a big project like this. It's a layer of communication and a layer of letting people know what's going on.
So what do you expect to get out of it?
Absolutely nothing.
Go.
Just kidding.
I have some thoughts on surveys, and very much confirmed. I went to Survey Monkey and I looked at what actually makes a statistically significant survey. And what we're dealing with here, I spent most of my life dealing with what they call quantitative data.
Yeah.
And this ain't it. This is attribute data. The requirements to derive to accept the hypothesis require much greater sample size. Anybody here into statistics?
Yeah.
Well, in that regard, I don't know how we do this. Is it by residence or by resident? But in that case, we'd have to have in the neighborhood of 200 responses to garner any reasonable expectation. Right. And even that's you're pushing that down into an 80% confidence level. And so just a quick comparison. So, I could sample 25 homes here for therms or kilowatts. And I'm going to be pretty close to saying, hey, this is the average and this is the median. It's very hard to derive. Any significant results out of a survey. We'd have to be well over 200.
I think that's very feasible.
I don't think it's feasible at all.
Oh, you don't?
No. That's just me.
I would say our engagement with the residents are very high.
Right.
We have very high engagement with residents that come in. The e-news is very high. The 64% opening. I mean, I think we're looking for this is the first project the village has ever done that is going to be this big. And I think to have some sense of what residents want, and even if it's just a little bit of information, helps make the decision and you guys at least somewhat impactful. And then it's easier for staff to say, hey, we've given the opportunity to residents here to voice their opinion on a certain project. And, we had X, Y, and Z show up to the public hearing, or we had no one show up to the public hearing. We offered information sessions on, discussions with the board and department heads. We've offered a survey. We've done everything we can to inform the residents about this decision. And even if no one shows up, we still did it. I think that proves a point to say that we still are making the impact to try, even though it doesn't, we don't get the 200 people. I think it helps us in a better sense.
I think in the case of the 4 Mile project, it's very directed at a single item, right? As opposed to the survey that we're thinking about doing for zoning, or the Jeff survey that we saw briefly. So I'm not going to disagree with it. You know, that bit of information, it costs us almost nothing to do it.
Yeah, this is free. So this will be, we'll have them here at the office, we'll have them on the e-news, and we'll have it on Facebook. And if people want to, take it, you know, we've got questions coming in on 4 Mile. And this is one way to, you know.
I have one. Which side of the road is it going to be on? South side?
4 miles.
South side.
The 4 Mile project.
Yeah.
So it's for a bike and walking path, correct?
This is, well, the main reason we're doing it is for the water mains, and then the reconstruction of the entire road is happening.
Will the road be widened at that time?
That's part of the process we're trying to figure out.
4 Mile Road project.
And some people want it, some people don't, and that's part of the public hearing, that's part of the design, but we don't know what residents really want. And this will help start the engagement of that.
I think it's wonderful. If I lived on 4 Mile on the south side of the road,
It's gonna be affected too.
good article in the here, by the way, called NIMBY, you know, not in my backyard. In this case, it would be not in my front yard. But I'm not going to disagree, and I'm not going to fight it.
So in essence, this is like a PR effort. Saying, okay, we're being open about this, and we've reached out to you.
Correct. It also gives, you know, like Travis said, the office an opportunity to feel you know,
Pulse.
later. Yeah.
But you know, the people who are more adamant are the ones who are going to be.
Kind of like that article
Yes.
I handed out. You're always going to hear the people that complain, and those are going to be the loudest people. But deep down, you were elected based on all the people, not the deep people that come
Right.
and the complainers that are professional at this. You're elected to make residents feel what is the best way to move forward,
As a
not just
community.
now, but as a community, and then your future, and for future residents to come in and make their life like you guys have as well. This is the community effort here that this road's going to last 30 years, 40 years, maybe if we're lucky, if we keep it up. But this impact is not going to just affect people now, but the residents in the future.
It is our plan, at least in our own minds, to widen the road.
That's your guys' decision. That's the board.
Yes.
No,
I think that's what's going to, yes.
what's the vision?
Well, we haven't seen anything from RH?
RH Smith.
Yeah.
So they're working on plotting all right now. You'll see.
Yeah, they're up there right now.
But the design process will come forward here, and once they're in their mindset of getting that next step in that stage, and that's when you guys decide, no, we're not widening the road, we're keeping it as is, just do the water mains and reconstruct same type of road.
All right, so
Since you're doing this work for the water main, and you have to tear up the road, okay, since we have this opportunity, what else do you want this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe some residents don't want anything.
I don't think it's really the residents' decision whether or not to replace a 40-foot section of water main.
Well,
No,
Yeah.
not that's not
Right.
good. So more of it is
We
Yeah.
can't really,
Yeah.
we can't really,
landscape of it.
we really can't couch it in a water main project when the ulterior motive, I think, is a widening and a bike.
Well,
path. Is that the ulterior-
no.
First started with, we're tearing up the road. We have to tear up the road.
Right.
Since we're tearing up the road, what else can we do? Okay.
What do you want to
This
see?
is, this is the what else.
Right. But I think like in this description of the 4 Mile Road project, I think this needs to say something more than what it does. I think it needs to say that,
What do you suggest?
for verbiage, I don't,
What are you trying to get to anyway?
I think,
What does it lack?
all right, so as we're seeking feedback from residents regarding the ongoing 4 Mile Road project, a lot of people don't even know what that is. So I think you just have to explain that, we are going to be ripping out the road to do the
Right.
proposed work.
Yeah,
Okay, what you're
absolutely.
saying is explain the project.
Project has to be explained, yes. Your input will help us to ensure. Oh,
How old are those water mains? Do you know, Travis?
50s, 60s,
Uh,
the 1950s,
60s.
60s.
Yeah, but that, you know.
Every
um,
half century, they're due.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess the issue with some of them is that because of the quality of the material they put into it, with the cast iron stuff was because of I guess the Korean War was way over by then. They put them in. They said that the material, the pipe itself was.
that lasted pretty long, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, I think now
yeah.
we got a better handle. We should be able to have it in there last 100 years.
And then maybe something like, you know, we're seeking your input for further, we're seeking further input.
Enhancement would be a word.
Yeah, enhancement's a good word. On what we could do during this project.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
So we want to indicate that we've.
this project is happening. While it's happening,
What else would you like?
would you like?
Yeah.
This is the opportunity
What else might you want to see?
to enhance our community. On the 4 Mile Walk. Maybe you'd like to see a lemonade stand.
There's another.
There we go.
Other.
The other
State your
lemonade stand.
Tavern.
Yeah,
More tavern.
I want to see
Our
that.
community.
Yeah.
Community bakes as a raise funds for others.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so the first thing you have on there is email. And how come you have an email and not a name? Because
So this is part of the conversation. Now, some people don't like it when they have to give their name, their email, blah 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 blah.
okay,
So to gain more people to, I don't know, fill out the survey, make it anonymous as much as we can. We just decided to do
Oh, yeah.
email so we could follow up with them if we needed to.
You're putting the waypoint address in there too. So
yeah, then I have your name anyway, right?
Yeah. So I mean, this is part of the conversation. Do we take name, email, phone number? Do we leave it?
Are these going to be sent
Optional.
out via email?
No, they'll just be in the. You'll like click the link and it'll pop you right up to this first page. And you'll
Why
scroll
wouldn't
through.
we send it out to all email that we have? Residents.
Well, that would be through the e-newsletter. The first thing they'd see would be, take the
Assuming
survey.
they read that one. Yeah.
Okay. I think it would be as important, and maybe the most important thing, is that we have their address. We know where they live.
Right. And that's the
Because-
second one.
Not just, but as we talk about the importance, I would have to weight the opinion of a 4 Mile Road resident higher than,
And that was the point of having the address
Yeah.
on there.
Right. Right.
and so what's the absolute minimum we could request from the respondent, right? Do we need his name?
It's not going to make a difference on another.
Yeah, we need his
Right.
email. That's an optional.
We can make it optional
Well,
because the stars are required to fill out.
right,
So the
that's-
email I can make
I
optional.
only asked that because we asked for it twice. And we say, if you're not on our email list for our e-news, sign up by adding your email below.
And that's how we could get more for people to know about what's happening
Right.
in the future communication of the project. So
But do we
So I
capture,
guess-
but we capture their email. But you can't send this, are you saying? Without,
We need a valid email address to send.
so that's
no, I know
so the,
that.
so the email is allowing us to like take response of it, that it's responded and they're not giving you access to add them. This is giving you access to say, yes,
Okay, and you
have,
need that.
you have my email. You can also use it to sign up
Okay,
with the e-news.
Okay.
So I can't just take these emails and add them because they didn't give me consent.
that
or
was
permission.
what my question was. Okay, all right. Then
So that's
I
right.
get
So
that.
do you want to make one optional or one required?
Mhm.
You mean at the header?
You have the email
Yeah.
one, number
Yeah,
one.
I'd make it optional.
But I think the address has to be required.
Yeah. All right.
Could you put name/email and then make it optional?
Sure.
Somebody wanted to put their name? or email/name?
It's actually email
I
option.
never saw somebody not asking for my name. All right, so then how often? Yeah, that was fine. Oh, how come on number 4? How do you travel on 4 Mile Road? You only can mark 1 because I can tell you I would mark 3.
We can mark more than one.
Yeah, because you could walk, you could bike, you could.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check all that apply.
Right.
Number 5, I think that we need a better definition at the top about what's required. Now, I know we discussed that, but it's required that we do the water main. So subsequent to that, it's required we tear up the road.
Well, what we just said, okay, we have to do that project since we have to tear up the road.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about 5 here. It says, are you aware of the 4 Mile project?
I could put in parentheses, see description
I think that's,
of
Do you want to say are you or were you? Then
that's where is a better.
Because if you're going to explain what the 4 Mile project is here, maybe you want to know if they were aware of it, or you eliminate that question completely.
you can eliminate it completely. Up to you.
What do you think?
Just makes me wonder how many residents are reading the emails, and if there are, we've been putting it in
Right.
there so that it would mark,
Well, can we say
No.
were you aware? Because are you? If I just read this, I'm going to mark.
I am now.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to mark yes.
all right, we can do
So
where,
maybe
were
were.
you aware?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Travis?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's an improvement.
Then you want me to put in parentheses, see description?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
If there's a lot of no's in it, it's going to be.
Right.
It's a tough road to hoe.
You don't want to see a lot of no's in that one.
Right.
Any suggestions on 6?
Yeah,
Well,
boy.
I guess for number 6, well, I guess you could count it out, but better accessibility.
Want to add that?
Yeah.
Just going to add better water mains. More reliable water mains, I should say.
That would be a
Less water breaks.
Anything else? See what happens when you collaborate and more ideas come to have,
Yeah.
enhanced aesthetic or landscaping.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about that too.
You gotta get some bushes out of this.
Hey, if you're adding sidewalks, I mean, you're gonna need a divider.
This is true. Okay, we'll go. I'll leave that. And yes, it's-
Somebody wants. I mean, it's all
You,
about.
you weren't around then, but I was here for curbs and sidewalks.
I've heard
You-
Allison mention it. I don't need to hear. it.
Don't even say those words.
Oh, you're going to be hearing those words. Okay. Noise adjust.
Were you around then, Carmen? There were 200 people in the Prairie Auditorium. I think there were pitchforks and torches there.
So number 7, concerns somebody might have regarding it. Those are all fine.
I'm gonna get rid of cost overruns.
Okay.
I don't want people to think we're going over project with this because we budgeted very.
Well, yeah.
We have used ARPA funds for the road. We're
Then
being
maybe
very
you wanted to say length of the project.
delays or length of project.
That's a good one.
Okay. 8. I think will impact your daily routine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll get rid of option 4. I don't know why that came up.
I figured it would.
Maybe I was thinking of something in
Yeah.
my mind, and I was like, no, that's gonna work out this time.
The 9 is going to be our big, the big question, right?
I'll separate sidewalks and pedestrian pathways.
Okay.
Yeah, because lighting is gonna be something too.
Is there any lighting right now?
No, I'm just saying, people along the road might not like street lights.
Right. Is there any lighting right now?
I
Is
think there's
there
a
a light at
couple.
Hunt Club?
I think there's a couple on some of the We Energy poles, but that's about it.
I think there's one at the corner.
I think there's one at Hunt Club and Farm Rail. That might be it. It's so dark.
It was curbs,
All right.
gutters, sidewalks, and lighting.
All right.
That's
So
the
bike
revolution.
lanes, sidewalks, pedestrian pathways, and then better lighting.
Bike lane, sidewalks, pedestrian pathways, and better lighting.
I don't know if I'd say sidewalks.
It's all part of the. We're not. It doesn't mean we're doing any of this in
We're
here,
asking
you know,
people,
we're
do
just-
they want pedestrian pathways or sidewalks?
Well, those
I
are two
think they're-
separate things.
And they're separated.
Yep,
now.
we're
We just
separated.
separated them
Oh, okay.
on the, yeah. So now people can mark pedestrian pathway because they don't want sidewalks. And then we have something to go on.
Is a
Alright.
bike lane the same as a pedestrian pathway? For all
I think
intents and
one
purposes?
has to be a little wider than the other.
Well, yeah, I
Legally.
think you might be
Yeah.
right.
Because a bike lane can be narrow. When you're biking, if you're thinking walking, it could be a little bit larger. Accessibility and both ways have to come.
Sidewalk.
Sidewalk will usually feature curb, right?
Okay.
And my immediate thought
Yes.
is sidewalk goes to cement, right? As opposed to, we're doing asphalt out here, right?
Right. All
I'm
right,
just saying.
but if enough people mark sidewalk, then we should probably consider. Tam, how would you prefer to receive updates? I think you've covered everything there.
Contact me on emails.
11 is my big. Is this opening a can of worms or?
Nope. I think you
No.
have to do that.
That might be the most valuable information
Yeah.
you derive.
So my question then to you, Travis, is does Google survey tabulate
Yep.
for you and
Yep.
free? Is that
all
free too?
All free.
Alrighty. Question would be, did, since I wasn't here, the Park and Rec Committee decide to do a survey?
No, they haven't voted on it. No action was taken today. They were just
Okay,
throwing out.
I like surveys. I don't like survey. I got a survey this month. Oh, I got a survey this month, So I just want to make sure that this survey does not, go too close to,
My thoughts are this is very directed to a project, right? And the examples we saw from Jeff. Am I allowed to talk about this?
It's not really on the
No.
agenda. So
No,
I
no,
would,
agenda.
yeah, so I would
Yeah.
rather.
Well, you're talking about
And-
surveys, okay?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Surveys.
And in regard to surveys, we saw a sample survey at, I was in John Q. Public.
Yeah.
But the sample survey from Jeff, it was like the 4 or 5 questions that he had proposed were all best answered by not applicable, right?
And he also said in that one that 10% would be fabulous.
right?
Well, 10% of how many households do we have here? Is it per household? Is it?
It would be per
per
resident.
Per resident?
Ideally, I mean,
So
you're
if you have
aware,
a
so.
couple people in the same household could still do it.
Right.
So 1,700, so potentially 10% would be 170.
And this could be our guinea pig. To see how many
This is
people.
true too.
This is more interesting than
And it's free.
zoning.
Now, I mean, I can see people in Wind Meadows going, don't really care so much,
Unless they're walkers or
right?
Concerned
I'm
about
just saying, like, I'm sure will be some.
Yeah. Yeah,
myself. No.
I'm just very
You will.
curious, you know. This is,
will.
like I said, this is the first
Oh.
project the village is
Right.
really big doing. I mean, this is
Right.
it's huge. So
Well, maybe we say that, you know, get like people excited about something that's big, you know.
yeah,
This
we've
isn't
never done a
just-
reconstruction. Yeah, this is
Right.
gonna impact daily.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for sure. But so how would you get? Oh, it just have to be in. I mean, at some point in time. Oh, I guess go there. All right, I'm just thinking of the neighborhood back there. How you would get there?
Oh, they'll have. I mean, the construction
Just single
managers,
lane,
yeah,
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
those engineers.
You know.
Leave it to them. I'm not gonna. But yeah, and then I guess the implementation of this, like I said, we'll have some here in the office. We'll have them online. We'll have them on the website. Other than that, I'm thinking maybe March, or do you want to do April?
How long do you want to hold it open for?
The other question, that was my follow up. You're reading my mind.
Let's go.
I usually only do that with my wife.
Let's go with a date first. When is this project? We don't know.
I mean, with the weather we've had, it's probably slowing down their plans. So I don't mind April. More people will be back in the village probably by that point. Winter bird.
That's a very good
Right.
point.
So I don't mind April.
Okay.
You know, that's when people start thinking construction in their
Right.
mind. You know,
Mm-hmm.
starting to see things. So
Okay, we're good with April.
There's a joke.
April for the snowbirds.
There's two seasons in Racine County: winter and construction.
yeah. Maybe a month.
That's what I was thinking.
And 30 days. for the current year.
Every bit of that.
And then that's,
And then you have to,
in May we can review it as a
You want
committee.
to do 40, you want
Yeah,
to do
you want
45 days?
yeah, that would make me happier.
45 days.
I would come out and do reminders.
I'm sorry?
Do reminders too.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. That's,
People
Oh,
say,
yeah.
"Oh, okay, I'll do this later. I can do it.
And we can send out a special newsletter in the middle, halfway through, be like,
Right.
halfway through
haven't.
Mark, and then at the May newsletter, we'll say, you know, you have 1 week left to fill out the newsletter.
Right.
This is your final chance
Right.
to voice your opinion.
so you do the announcement.
Follow
It's-
up.
Yeah, and 2 follow-ups.
We'll have them on Facebook. We'll put an alert out on the website.
How do we keep people who aren't residents from acting on this?
Well, they have to put a 1 point address, which,
Well, do we have an address checker?
We can have Hannah look at it.
Yeah.
And there's not that many, you know, as they're coming in, we can
can do it.
verify, you know.
We don't want any
Because they're-
slobs from Caledonia answering.
No.
Yeah, because we could have somebody could put in.
And I can, you
and
know,
just-
On our Facebook page, for Wind Girls, at least 2 or 3 a week of people who don't even live here, and put down Jerry Lapore's address.
Okay.
Yeah, people's addresses. I'm like, why do you want to do? Yeah. So yeah, we should do some type of a fact check for sure. And if the girls in the office are too busy for that, I'm more than happy to do that.
You have to volunteer.
So
Let the record show.
That's
That's
Put that
right.
in minutes.
Let the record show. Let the volunteer.
Just saying, you know, don't want to put more on them. It's not needed. So, all right.
all right. Number 6.
Referrals.
Referrals.
Oh no, you didn't get the amended one.
I was at lunch. I didn't even stop to get my computer.
Discussion, planning on coffee with the board and administrator, and then an evening session like that. This would be regarding CIP project, zoning, website, other items that the village has recently done, and taking a deep dive on what we've been doing. I know they don't work, but again, it shows the point that we're trying.
Right.
And it's all about trying in the sense of the eye. But more of it is discussed on, like, you know, here's the website, here's a presentation on how to sign up for the e-notify, here's how to do this, here's the zoning, here's, like, you know, some, you know, things like in the e-news that we put in that newsletter, you know, facts about that, some of the applications, here's some of the applications you
This
might
is
need.
this is for residents.
Yep.
And the thought is to explain what your board
What the,
Yeah.
yeah, what,
To you or for you?
Well,
well, we had this session with, it was meet the administrator and the board and department heads, and it was, well, we had 7 people show up. It was a summer, given that too, but
this
you
is, yeah, this is something that before I got on the board, that the communications committee had talked about doing, and the board talked about doing these,
pop-up sessions,
pop-up
workshops.
sessions. Yeah,
We could
and-
hold them one at the lighthouse. We could hold one at Wingspread, maybe to get more
you
people.
get more people on.
Excitement, yeah. We could hold maybe one at Prairie, and mix up the. Maybe we could hold one at Wind Meadows.
Certainly.
Just get pockets. We could hold one.
Listen to me. Certainly.
But that's, I mean, and we gauge how one goes. One coffee one maybe at Wind Meadows.
Right.
Good
one
coffee.
evening one at good
Yeah,
coffee.
good coffee, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why don't you choose?
Maybe one
Yeah.
at Wingspread, and they'll be
Wine,
like
cheese, or-
evening, like
Yeah.
snacks and drinks and
Yeah.
mingle.
So I
And
think they have
we could
to
have
be,
Jeff there. We had Scott talk about formal,
Right.
Jeff about zoning. I mean, we could have stuff on the budget. I mean,
it'd be nice if you knew that the fourth, Thursday every 3 months was, that these were scheduled more. But do you not do that because you might not have anything to talk about?
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
true. Yeah,
The other thing is, rather than schedule, let's see how one goes.
yeah, that's what my other
Yeah. Let's
Well,
see
we know
one
how
goes.
So
one,
we
we've
do
done
one morning, one evening.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
So see how that works.
yeah. All right. I was just pulling it up. I apologize here.
But
What do you have here?
so part of that plan would be, so one of them was the website, do show on a small computer going through how to sign up. One would be about zoning. One would be about the CIP project, showing our information on the future projects that the village has in the CIP. One would be on the borrowing. We'll all hear that presentation. We could have a copy of the presentation out for those that are interested. And then one would be on 4 Mile Road. Residents have a question about that. And then one would be on this.
Do you think you could also like incorporate safety, like have, Tommy come
Yeah, we could do something
as
like
well, like summer's here, here's some safety tips
Yeah.
and, kind of, instead of, oh, if I'm not interested in that, make,
that. He would probably more be for the evening one though, just because.
Sure.
Or we could have David come.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just thinking maybe have kind of like 2 things. So if I might not be interested, in this, but I would be interested in this, then I'm comfortable.
yeah.
And
And then one meet the board too again.
Right. nobody cares about it.
Q&A,
Right.
session, be like, what don't you like? What do you like? What do you want to see?
Right. But there is so much going on right now.
More than there's a lot.
There's a lot going on. This is no longer a sleepy little administrator. This is an administrator that has some ideas. So, I
But
think
this is
it's
a very
exciting.
rough draft. We're getting 2 more samples tomorrow morning. Mr. Johnson is coming in 2 weeks from now.
Mr. Leopold?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Leopold, 2 weeks from now. You can see there's some process start of explanation on each board too, talking about the different description, the benefits, the obstacles the village faces on ADA, compliancy, code enforcement, fire enforcement, different things that we've surveyed, different things we had analysis done on. So it's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
So any questions, feedback?
So yeah, I think we should definitely do those pop-up meetings.
Yeah, waiting for us to, like, more of the 4 Mile Road project to become a little more kind of information to get before we say we're doing this, like get a design started.
Well,
Yeah,
What do you anticipate the first topics to be for the first meeting or meetings?
I would say CIP, like the projects we're currently working on. The building, the road, then the website, zoning.
You could do the website though. now, I mean, that just came out. So maybe the website and zoning, well, we haven't approved the zoning yet, but isn't what we?
Yeah, chapter 36 has been, that's the
yeah.
biggest update, but I'm thinking more of this, and then to bring people out. I mean, you want as many different, I feel like, ideas, that might engage someone to come out to this event. So that's where I'm trying to think, creativity wise,
Yeah,
zoning, zoning, I don't care about. Doesn't affect me. Website, I don't care about. I don't use media websites. I don't even care about that. But just getting them in the door to even say, hey, you might not use the website, but you might want to now after you've taken a look at it, and how
Right.
user friendly it is, and how easy it is. You don't even have to
information.
click on, the text message
and the
just break it up.
alerts,
Yeah. I mean, safety, reasons for alerts, if there was something to go on,
Right.
you get that alert. I mean,
Right.
it's just kind of like,
and I don't think people understand that. And I know the website's not exactly on my agenda, but weren't we going to do something with the reservations? Remind me to talk to you about that later then.
okay.
Reservations
Yeah.
for,
The tennis courts. Remember, we weren't going to do the SKIDA program because I thought our website was going to allow us to do that.
So,
And I remember asking the question to him. So
okay.
we have to look at that. Maybe it's just not there.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
So those are the ideas. Just wanted to let you know, keep you updated on kind of ideas on that. Once we get more information from all the projects we're working on, have a better understanding, we'll set a date.
Okay.
Thinking Thursdays probably are the easiest. We could even,
Well, now what did Jeff say about getting people out? Those were not the dates.
we did say that
Remember?
we could do a Tuesday.
I think I wrote
Tuesday
it down.
A Tuesday evening and a Tuesday morning at some point.
Okay.
Not just on the same day. I don't want to do it on the
Right.
same
No,
day.
no.
But yeah,
Okay.
that would be the plan.
And do, you could do one on a,
One at the beginning of the month, one at the end.
yeah.
See how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
so the plan would be for 2 meetings initially.
Yeah, one morning one, see how that one runs. Coffee,
Would
donuts,
you do the same
food.
topic for a morning one and then
I think so.
later, like a couple weeks later, or at the end of the month, do evening one
Yeah,
Same
just because,
topic. to
maybe
get different
people aren't morning
and
persons.
seeing exactly.
Someone's not an evening person, they want to go to one or the other.
Right.
They have that option.
I like
How
that.
people work. Could come
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, I like that.
Ideally, when it's warmer a little bit too, so people can walk in. And I feel like the people don't come out, and the snowbirds
Right.
will be back hopefully. So
So that's April-ish or May.
May maybe, but not before at least Memorial Day, beginning of May. Maybe we'll do one in June then. One evening, one in June,
Mhm.
but do at least one in May. Maybe April. We'll see how that goes on all these projects. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, sounds great. Anybody have any other questions regarding the survey or these pop-up meetings?
I'll take back what I said before about surveys in this instance.
I'm passionate
so
about
noted.
this. I'm passionate about this road project. I'm very
Right.
excited to see it.
It's a big project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the engagement on this and
Right.
inform those residents. So
Okay.
it's all about trying to inform, try to be creative here.
Right.
That's what I got.
All right, so I don't think we have any referrals. We'll make mention at the next board meeting that we're going to be doing a survey.
You'll have an update on the February 13th.
Right. But we don't need to ask the
No,
board at
no,
all, so there's no
they-
referrals. And I guess we just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Charlie, you want a second that?
All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed? All right, hearing none. Our meeting is adjourned
Power off.
at 2:39.